Patrick Mullins joins us on a Monday after the festival. And Patrick, we're going to hit you with 6 quick fire questions to round up what happened last week. We'll kick off with your star of the week. So this is human, equine, or one of each, I suppose, whichever you fancy.
Yeah, look, I thought Rachel Blackmore on Thursday, she's had a serious injury there before Christmas. She came back to a yard that was out of form, and obviously Dara Keefe kept the rides on a lot of horses that he'd won on when she was off. So her back was up against the wall, and she delivered yet again on the biggest stage of them all.
Yeah, Rachel was fantastic. I could see bookmakers seemed to be running for cover, didn't they, on the Friday? You could see a lot of her rides that were really well backed after the winners the day before. That was it was really good to see. Okay, so which winner gave you the most satisfaction last week?
Look, I think Jasmine DeVoe, obviously, I've got a bit of a soft spot for him after last year, but his jumping was very average at the start of the year, and we've done a lot of work on it and done lots of schooling with him, and I've done plenty of it myself, and I think Paul gave him a fabulous ride, and I just think for him to come back and double his festival tally, I think that was very satisfying. Yeah.
Would he pop over a fence before the summertime, Patrick, at all? Would he school over fences?
No, we generally don't school them at the end of the season. I imagine we'd be schooling him next kind of October time to see whether he's going to stay hurdling or go fences. I mean, he did win a point, and Crawford said he was, he was a very good jumper when they had him. So obviously we knocked his confidence somewhere along the line down here, but we've got it back now. So hopefully it's onwards and upwards.
Yeah, he's a fantastic engine, hasn't he? Yeah, quite clearly. Okay, question 3. Biggest surprise of the week. Now, I suspect there might be quite a short price favourite here, but over to you.
Yes, I think Poneros at 100 to 1, I think surprised everyone. We had 11 in the race, and I think he was probably number 10 really on the list. So look, they obviously got bought at the horse and training sales, and he came into the yard there to start December. Like I'd said with Game of Inches, I'm not sure we've had too many that would have won coming into the yard middle of the season. But he must have just huge natural ability, and obviously the race form looks very strong with Lalamba, East India Dock, and Lady Vague Adam filling the place behind him. We were as surprised as anyone. His work here was fine. His jumping was fine, but we were very much going just for the experience factor as opposed to going and think he could win.
Will he go on for the rest of the spring now, I presume?
I'd imagine he's been bought as a dual-purpose horse, so I imagine we'll go to Punchestown, and he could be one on to Royal Ascot and the likes afterwards. And there's always that race down under that comes into consideration as well. But like I said, the plans might change now because we hadn't factored him winning into it. So it'd be fascinating to see what he does decide to do with him. Yeah,
he was a fascinating story. All right, okay, on to the next one. Did you come away from Cheltenham last week with any regrets, whether that's your own sort of personal efforts or decisions around horses for the yard?
Not really. I mean, to me, not a regret. Just Stateman was going to show. I think he's a horse that doesn't get the credit. I know people always say that with their own horses, but he was going to demolish what was left of Champion Hurdle Field, and that was just a big pity that he didn't just jump the last. Like, look, Galloping obviously was a regret, but he just got beat, and he was not as on the best in the day, whatever. But for Stateman to come down the last, it was gutted for the horse. Yeah.
Yeah. You obviously, we wouldn't ask you to talk for Paul Townend, but what would you say to those people who say that maybe he should have a few regrets over the way that he attacked that last hurdle? It's such a hard situation, isn't it? Because he jumped the others so well.
Yeah, look, when you fall, you're wrong. And you'd always like to do it again. I'd have lost my house on Stateman. Stateman falling. He obviously did before his first run for us, but Paul knows him so well and trusts him so well, and that's it. When you're in the zone, that was the decision he made in the moment, and unfortunately, it didn't. He got the wrong result from it. But some you win, some you lose.
Okay, we might come back to him for the last question, but question 5. One ride you'd particularly look forward to, maybe around Aintree, whether that's over the big fences or any other race at Aintree?
Well, look, I think Nick Rocket could be very interesting in the Grand National. I think he's an improving horse, very young. And he's got plenty of weight, but that mightn't be as much of an issue nowadays. And obviously, he skipped Cheltenham to go straight to Aintree, and I thought he'd win the Bobby Joe and the Trieste. They're two good national trials, and I thought he might be he's one I wouldn't mind sticking my hand up for.
There might be a short price favourite in this year's Grand National, Patrick. What do you make of him potentially being a stone well in?
Yeah, look, sure. I mean, I think it'd be fantastic to see. I mean, it'd be fantastic to see him there. And the race is obviously it's a race that has become probably better for the classier horses. But I mean, as we all know, being a stone well in doesn't often win those big handicaps. You need a bit of luck and running. You need to jump well enough. He still needs to go. While the fences aren't as fearsome as they used to be, they are still different. So he would have to go and prove that he can take to those fences, or maybe he'll be better at them. But there's still a question mark. The fact he's so well in doesn't necessarily mean he's gone by in my book, anyway.
No, and it will come round thick and fast. We're only 3 weeks to Aintree itself. Okay, final one. Punchestown. Which horse will seek and which horse will gain redemption? Beaten horse from Cheltenham to win at Punchestown.
Look, I'd like to see Ballyburn. I think he can go back. He he made that mistake, the ditch uphill. It's a tricky fence, and that just knocked his confidence completely. I thought he ran well considering. And I think maybe we just maybe ride him slightly differently. It was a very slowly run race, and he was keen and maybe just not concentrating. So I wouldn't particularly mind trying 3 miles with him again and just letting him gallop on. There's obviously no 2.5 mile option in Punchestown. It's only back to 2 miles or 3 miles. And I just wouldn't give up on him just yet. Maybe I'll eat my word at the Punchestown, but I just wouldn't give up on him just yet over fences.
No, I think that's very fair. Thank you very much, Patrick. Great stuff. Good to catch up with Cheltenham as well.